A warm welcome to you to the program Agric Today on ARCN Television, Abuja, Nigeria. I am your host, Khadija Oluwatoyin. Today's episode, which promises to be an educative one, is one that gives a facelift to the seed production in Nigeria, as the federal government, through the Ministry of Agriculture and Rural Development, from the desk of the Honorable Minister of Agriculture, Dr. Mohammed Mahmoud Abubakar, launching the National Agricultural Seed Policy for Nigeria year 2022. The event took place at the ministry's conference hall, which has stakeholders from private and the government agencies under the ministry coming together to launch this very policy. The last time we saw the launch of this policy was in 2015, and of course, if you ask me, it is very well long overdue, and having it now cannot be coming at a better time. Let's hear a snippet from what the minister has to say.
Of Agriculture and Rural Development. It's my pleasure to present to the public the revised National Agricultural Seed Policy 2022. It is expected that following the critical review of the 2015 National Seed Policy, the progressive and positive changes in the operations of the seed industry has necessitated the review exercise, especially after the enactment of the National Agricultural Seed Act number 21 of 2019 and the Plant Variety Protection Act number 5 of 2021 that has confined new responsibilities and widened the scope of operations of the National Agricultural Seed Council. As we all know, Nigeria is currently confronted with a number of challenges ranging from economic uncertainty, policies inconsistency, rising oil prices, population explosion, insecurity and the recent armed conflict in many nations in the world. All these factors are already having its effect on the agricultural system and food security in the nation. To this end, the present administration has identified the agricultural sector as the most viable sector for the proposed diversification plan of the economy. Many reforms and policies have been put in place in the sector to facilitate its development as well as attract the necessary investment into the agric sector. The present seed policy document represents the concerted effort of the NASC and stakeholders who have made valuable input and contributions towards ensuring that farmers have unrestricted access to best genetics to enhance their productivity. Let me reiterate that this revised policy has removed the ambiguous areas in the erstwhile 2015 National Seed Policy, strengthened the identified weaknesses, and also introduced innovations that optimize the regulatory, promotional, and protection roles of NASC in ensuring that our esteemed farmers have access to improved quality seeds. Some of these include the introduction of Seed Codex as a quality control authentication tool and traceability aimed at curbing adulteration, participation of third-party seed inspectors in the quality assurance process. Also, establishment of satellite and private seed testing laboratories and strategic seed banks to act as reserve and buffer stocks in case of food emergencies, and encourage active participation of women and youth in the seed business along seed value chain, among other innovations, which are also embedded in the new policy document. Some of these achievements have enabled the availability of 89,512.1 metric ton of assorted improved seed varieties for planting by farmers in the 2023 cropping season. Also, Nigeria is about to deposit the instrument of ascension of the UPOV, that is the International Union of New Plant Variety Protection General Assembly, for Nigeria to take advantage of the international seed trade. Let me take this opportunity also to thank everyone that has contributed to the production of this important document at every stage as it passed through, especially His Excellency President Muhammadu Buhari, my colleagues in the Federal Executive Council for the approval of the policy document, members of the National Council on Agriculture and Rural Development, development partners, especially the Feed the Future Nigeria Agribusiness Investment Activities of USAID for their untiring effort to promote agribusiness in Nigeria by ensuring that enabling environment is put in place through the instrumentation of favorable policies, which include the National Agricultural Seed Policy 2022. I am recognizing the immense contribution of stakeholders at both public and private sectors in enriching the content of this new policy document, as our investment is to build a better future for Nigeria's agriculture, as seed is a critical input in enhancing farmers' productivity and boosting the country's GDP through agriculture. With these few remarks, I hereby launch and present to the public, especially our major stakeholders in the seed industry, including our highly esteemed farmers, the revised National Agricultural Seed Policy 2022 towards ensuring food and nutrition security in Nigeria. And in the name of God Almighty,
Listening to the minister, you say, the man has, of course, has been hitting the ground running when it comes to ensuring that there's food sustainability and food sufficiency in Nigeria. Among these updates of the food policy, seed policy for Nigeria to go is that it has checked some of the gray areas where it needs to be addressed and then bring in new innovations in the area of seed production. Other stakeholders, like the Director General of the National Seed Council of Nigeria, also spoke at the event. Let's hear from him.
That this policy got all the necessary approvals, especially at the FEC. Let me also recognize the efforts of the agribusiness activity in sourcing for the consulting Farm and Infrastructure Foundation that conducted a review study and drafted the new policy document in close collaboration with NASC. The activity supported NASC in delivering to Nigeria and Nigerians a new national agricultural seed policy, which will invigorate the national seed system, trigger growth and development to consolidate on the gains and reforms we have made in the industry in recent times. The seed subsector of Nigerian agricultural economy has undergone different stages of development since the country's independence in 1960. Despite the attainment of such critical institutional structure for agricultural development, the seed landscape has evolved over the years. The Honorable Ministers, sir, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, permit me at this juncture to take us down the memory lane. Following the approval of the Federal Executive Council for the full implementation of the 1992 Seed Decree, the National Agricultural Seed Council was established in December 2007 as an agency of the Federal Ministry of Agriculture and Rural Development to enhance private sector participation in the seed industry and at the same time define the roles of the public sector. The seed policy was articulated in year 2010, aimed at encouraging the private sector participation in varietal development, seed multiplication, and seed sales. This has opened a wide range of high-yielding crop varieties available for farmers, especially with the introduction of hybrids to boost farmers' productivity. Also, public institutions like ADP were discouraged from engaging in direct seed multiplication and sales. The 2010 policy was reviewed to expand the scope and participation of the private sector in 2015. This empowered the private seed companies to engage in multiplication and sales of early generation seeds, which has been the sole responsibility of research institutions among other notable innovations introduced by 2015 seed policy. Subsequently, with the enactment of National Agricultural Seed Act No. 21 of 2019, the Council has further introduced additional innovations and technologies, which include the Seed Codex, the third-party certification, the Seed Tracker, the NASC Seed Information Management Platform, the NASC Electronic Survey Tool, the e-library, molecular diagnostic system to ease its functions of delivering quality seeds to Nigerian farming populace. The Council has also facilitated the enactment of the Plant Variety Protection Act No. 5 of 2021, which established the Secretariat for Plant Variety Protection in Nigeria, that encourages licensing and proprietorship of varieties developed by individuals and institutions, and also enable Nigerian membership of UPOF, which has necessitated further review of the national seed policy. The review process, which commenced in 2021 with a series of activities and consultations, has resulted in the development of a revised policy called National Agricultural Seed Policy 2022, which has leveraged on the advent of technology and innovation in the Nigerian seed industry. Honorable Minister, sir, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, it is my hope that the policy being unveiled today will further deepen the government efforts at ensuring that Nigeria is not only food secure, but a net exporter of agricultural produce among the Community of Nations. The National Agricultural Seed Council will be committed to full implementation of the policy after the launching today. Once again, I want to welcome all of you to this very important occasion.
We are just here to launch, and a lot have been said by the DG and the financiers, the future. We must say that we could see how long it took us over a year to really carry out this assignment. And thank God that both Professor Yola and myself have at one time or the other been insiders in the ministry and agric sector generally. And even Professor Yola himself was involved at the other earlier stages, the 2015 review and the 2010 review. It was part of it. So we hit the ground running, and I must say we had a very robust interaction with all stakeholders, including international experts. We were subjected it to international experts review, sitting professors from about 3 or 4 universities and associations, and they gave us their feedback. And I want to thank the ministry and the council for their support, for the good work we're able to do, and the future for all the support they gave us in arriving at this today. So we are all excited. We are excited as a consultancy firm to be part of this, and we look forward to the effective implementation. And as has been said by one of the earlier speakers, please, we would like to ensure effective monitoring, and to much as possible to engage the stakeholders in the implementation. Honourable Minister, ladies and gentlemen, stakeholders, I thank you very much indeed.
We are holding this meeting for the seed industry, and those of us who are within the industry clearly understand that if we don't have order within the industry, we all lose. The farmers will lose, investors will lose, those who want to support us will also lose. We want to especially congratulate the Minister of Agriculture for taking this project passionately to your heart. I'm sure we have noted for more than 7 years, the last policy document was 7 years ago. It ought to have been reviewed like 5 years. But when you came on board, some of the questions you asked led to acceleration of the process of review of the document. We want to thank you especially for it.
We are delighted to be here today, and we are happy to be part of NAC's story. We have collaborated in many fronts, most especially on capacity strengthening, data collection, and development of research outputs. It's our sincere hope that our relationship will continue. We congratulate you once again on this new seed policy document, and we want to wish you successful implementation of the document. Thank you.
Working through the Department of Planning and Policy Coordination, we've worked severally with a couple of other departments in the ministry. We've worked with the Federal Strategic Grain Reserve. We've been part of the works going on in policy works in other parts of the ministry. And on this occasion, we want to congratulate the Seed Council. A couple of work we've done with the Seed Council, the 2019 Seed Council policy, Agra was part of it, during which time we supported early generation seed production in the country. We're part of the Plant Variety Protection Policy 2021. Agra has been part of those, and a couple of other work that Agra has done, including the implementation processes of the previous policy. And we are glad to see a revised policy 2022 to build on the initial work we have done. And we want to congratulate NASC once again for the good work they are doing. We wish you all the best.
From our outgrowths. Nowadays, agricultural inputs, you find them substandard due to some companies, especially in seed industries, chemical industry and fertilizer, they are selling substandard fertilizer, chemicals, herbicide, insecticide to farmers. How good a seed is, when the fertilizer is applied, you cannot obtain the maximum result due to quality of the fertilizer. Again, these herbicides are also the same thing. You apply them, after short periods, you find that all the vegetations take over your field due to poor chemicals, either insecticide or herbicide.
To officially launch the revised National Agricultural Seed Policy 2022. This policy is very significant to the seed industry as it underscores the need to strengthen efforts to maintain quality seed production, address issues of seed fraud, and increase awareness to improve healthy seed supply for the benefit of agricultural productivity and food security in Nigeria. We at the Feed the Future Nigeria Agribusiness Investment Activity are keen on supporting every effort that enables access to quality inputs for the teeming population of farmers. The USAID Feed the Future Nigeria Agribusiness Investment Activity is a 5-year USAID-funded program which aims to strengthen the enabling environment for agribusiness finance and investment in Nigeria. The activity focuses on 4 interrelated components. The first component would be the improving the enabling environment for agricultural sector growth. The second component is about broadening access to finance by mitigating credit risks of agribusinesses. The third component is about promoting and facilitating investment opportunities for agribusinesses to expand and scale up operations. And the last component, which is the fourth component, is about sustainably enhancing the performance of agribusiness, micro, small, and medium-sized enterprises. The activity remains committed to strengthening the Nigeria agribusiness enabling environment, which is an important precondition for private sector investment in agriculture. At the request of the National Agricultural Seed Council, the activity commenced support in 2021 with the objective of reviewing the existing 2015 seed policy to take into consideration and leverage on current technological innovations in the global seed industry. The review process went through initial data gathering, desk review by an international authority on seed policy, with several stakeholder reviews and validation, which culminated in the final approval of the policy in March 2023. We are delighted with the remarkable changes and positive outcomes that this policy brings, particularly with the introduction of innovative technology in seed verification, certification, and the liberalization of the seed markets to involve private sector seed actors. We commend the efforts of FMAD and the National Agricultural Seed Council for seeing this through to completion and launch today. It is our hope that this revised seed policy will be fully implemented, monitored, and evaluated to track progress towards transforming the agri-food industry in Nigeria and the rest of the world. The activity remains open to fostering more collaborations and partnerships within the lifespan of the project that will improve the agribusiness enabling environment and support critical infrastructural provision in the transformation of Nigerians' agricultural sector. I thank you once again for the opportunity to be part of this formal launch and wish the Federal Ministry of Agriculture and Rural Development and the National Agricultural Seed Council a successful implementation process.
According to the minister, the seed policy review exercise should take place every once in 5 years because of the dynamic nature of the policy. And of course, this particular policy statement is going to be kicking off on Wednesday, the 22nd of March, the year 2023. And on that note, that I will wrap it up. I hope this has been an eye-opening because so many things discussed. People will feel farming, you just buy, you don't know how it comes to be. That's why we have the research councils who go and come together in ensuring that we have improved, have better yields. That's how we wrap it up on the program today. Thank you for joining us. I am Khadija Oluwatoyin. Gotcha.